But what does it mean, John? What does this mean, being 14 points off the top at this stage? Is the title done already?
Well, it's very much like saying Arsenal are top, are they going to win the title? Yes, it's going to be very difficult. I don't think that we're going to be playing well enough, but I think we can still finish in the top four. But I suppose I don't want to say the title's over, because we can we see Man City and Arsenal, or Man City dropping loads of points? But as Jurgen says, we're not thinking about the title, we're thinking about improving to win football matches to push up the league.
It's such a shock, though, Jamie, because of how good Liverpool have been, pushing City all the way in the last 4 seasons. Champions League finalists again last season. 2 domestic cups as well. We didn't expect this, did we?
No, I don't think anybody could foresee what's going on right now. And then obviously then you start to unravel, then you start looking at the age of the squad. They need to improve what they're trying to achieve right now. Mane was I know I listened to you, you said this week, Paul, it was a very strange decision to sell him, but I must admit Núñez was very good today. There's a lot of things in midfield that I think need to be addressed in time. It's going to be, obviously you can't do it right now because you can't get any players in, maybe January, maybe next season. They need energy in there. They need to add some youthfulness to it. I think if you look at the likes of obviously James Milner and Henderson, have been incredible for the club. Thiago not getting any younger. You have to find the next ones. Now they do try to implement a different style of football now. By bringing in players like Thiago, you want to get more of a control on the football match. But where Liverpool have been so effective over the years is the pace and the energy that the midfield have got. They win second balls and they let the front three really pretty much take care of that. Right now, Salah's bang out of form. But it's not just Salah, it's not just Trent, it's Virgil. It's everyone right now is not in the form that's really going to get you in that ascendancy. So it's going to be still a bit of pain for Liverpool to come. But the real plus today was Núñez up front. I think if you're looking for something that made a difference, it was certainly him. And I think he'll be, although he won't want to lose any football match, he'll be delighted with himself, because it's not been a great start to the season for him. And there were many pluses if we can look at him now.
But this team had to evolve, didn't it? We talk about the sadness and the disappointment, perhaps shock in some quarters, of Mane leaving. This front three had to evolve.
Yeah, it does. He was a big player. You know, if you look when Liverpool were at their best, they closed down from the front. They were the best about. They were the best in the business. They used to win the ball so high up, it was one pass and it was a goal. That's not happening anymore too often now. They're not suffocating teams. Teams are getting through them too easy. They've let in a free in the last 2 games. That ain't going to get you
First time
anywhere.
that's happened under you.
And it's
that ain't going to happen.
And it's a different profile of our front three. You talk about Núñez, Jota came in, last year, and then of course Luis Diaz. When you talk about Mane, Salah, Firmino, who are so used to playing together, this is now a different profile of a front three, different profile of a midfield three, rather than the 3 hard-working midfield players to protect the back four, to allow the fullbacks to go forward. So it's a transitional period. We've got some teething problems. So I think that we've got good young players coming through, but I think it's going to be a while before we can see
Is the mentality
Liverpool
still there? We often talk about this Liverpool side being the mentality monsters.
Well, of course, mentality monsters can come with the experience of the players, the Milners and the Hendersons, and the age of those players. These are still young players, and we saw it with Arsenal's young players last year. They're now getting better, so it'll be a while for Liverpool to get back to where they were.
But if you look at Liverpool over the years, they were the best team without the ball, the front three. They would make runs like... Salah was the best. He would make a run, he would sprint. He's not running off the ball anymore. You look at the Arsenal three now, that reminds me of the Liverpool three 2-3 years ago. Pace, running without the ball, loads of energy. At the moment, I just feel they're stuck in a little bit of treacle at the moment. I worry for Liverpool at the moment, I really do.
And certainly defensively. I think the first game of the season when they played against Fulham, and it was a moment when Mitrovic faced up Van Dijk and went past him, gave away the penalty. And it was almost as if we're OK, we can get at this Liverpool team. We can cause them problems. And they showed that they have got that defensive frailty that we never really thought that they had. And I think that's pretty much gone for the team. Fabinho, who's been so good for that team in midfield, is not really part of the plans at the moment. He's not in the team. Even when he came on, I thought he really struggled, didn't have that energy or desire to really defend in that position. So there are so many different aspects that just don't really seem to be working right now.
But Jamie, that defensive stability for me came from the 3 midfield players, allowing Trent and Robbo to go forward, 2 centre-backs, and those 3 hard-working midfield players. You were not able to get at our back four.
So if Trent, when Trent would go forward, one of the midfield players would come and fill in that
Henderson,
position.
Wijnaldum. Whereas now the profile is different. You got Harvey Elliott, you got Carvalho, you got good players going forward, Thiago on the ball. But as I said, Arsenal with less possession had more opportunities in Liverpool's box because the midfield aren't protecting the back four.
So do you think there's maybe a world where sometimes Trent can't go forward as much because we're going to leave exposed with Virgil or Matip, whoever plays there?
Absolutely, because the amount of times Trent used to go forward and you see midfield players covering for him, whereas now when Trent goes forward, they're getting straight into our back four. So the profile's changing, the way we play is changing, so it'll take time for us to adapt.
So when you say you're worried about Liverpool, what do you mean? How bad could this get, do you think?
Well, they've got to get in the top 4, haven't they? Two big big football teams are going to miss out this season. You know, there's 6 big teams here and 2 are going to miss out. Liverpool don't want to be one of them. They play Man City at home next. You know, they play Man City. Arsenal win their next game and Liverpool get beat against Man City. That's 17 points. You put it in perspective. I know that'll be only 10 games gone, but you're talking that 6 football matches Arsenal would have to lose. Now, they lose 6 football matches and say Liverpool lose 4 to the end of the season, which is not a lot over 28 games.
Study Mercy, do your maths.
They lose. But you've got to put it in perspective.
This is going to end.
They're losing. They would have to lose a third of their football matches to the end of the season. That's middle of the table stuff. This team ain't losing 10 football matches.
And I
They're
think,
not.
I think as well, Paul, the dream or the hope for Liverpool fans, and I'm sure the same for Jurgen Klopp, is to get Jude Bellingham as a midfield player, but everyone, because he's the best young midfield player in the country, because he's the sort of player that can completely change everything in that midfield area. But if you don't make top 4, he's not coming to Liverpool. That's the problem, and that's the dilemma that Liverpool have. They've been in worse positions. There were worse positions when we had lockdown and we were playing in empty stadiums and no defence. So they will get better.
I fancy them for the top 4. I fancy them for the top 4. Well, when you say top 4, I mean third or fourth.
But the performance by Núñez today, I think, was so important, John, wasn't it?
And the performance by Liverpool, because ultimately they're playing the team who are probably the informed team in the country away from home, and they went toe to toe with them, as Jurgen Klopp says, the informed team against the not informed team, and they lost to a dubious penalty. So and Núñez will be a big plus. Núñez will be a big plus.
Final thoughts talking about Arsenal, who've won here tonight. They've gone back to the top of the league. What do you think is possible for them?
Oh, definitely top 4. I think. Well, I'm going to say top 4. Listen, I think Man City are going to win it, but I think Arsenal can look for second or third. I think so.
I think top 4. I think they haven't been in Champions League. They've got to get in the top 4. I think that's the name of the game, and I think they put a big gap between them and Liverpool so early in the season, especially with Liverpool playing Man City next week. Top 4 would be amazing.
Unbelievable transformation. This place has been toxic for years. I mean, there's been situations, I remember, not too long ago, the fans were outside protesting against the Cronkies. Right now, this is a place to have a season ticket in this part of the world. This is brilliant football.
If you got a few quid.
Well, you have, Mass. But they are playing such good football. They're a joy to watch, young team, vibrant. Yeah, I'm enjoying watching them play.